Jock Vlog.
And in our final Species movie review, it's Species: The Awakening from 2007, starring / introducing Helena Matson. She's the new alien on the block, a college professor, even though she is maybe 23 years old at the time this is made. Kind of makes you wonder how you even cast that. But she's teaching stuff. Her uncle is a professor, evidently hooked her up with the sweet gig. But she's an alien and she can absorb data. And it's kind of brought up, and I forgot to mention this in my Species 3 video, how they kind of retcon how Syl, Eve, and the like learn things. Because it's like she can pick up a book and know everything in it, and that's not the way how data is stored in a book. I would almost buy her picking up a memory card and touching the connection, or having Wi-Fi capability, but not something as text savvy, like textured, written, script. I don't see that working. This gal, Helena Matson, spends most of the movie nude on the ground with her forearm covering her breast. It's kind of shocking when you try, like when she does that, take a shot, you'll be slush drunk. She passes out after a date, gets taken to the hospital, kills some people in alien form, doesn't know she's an alien, has been raised to think she was a human, that this guy's niece, gets found on the ground again naked, just as I described. He now wants to take her to Mexico to see a former student of his who was working on projects like this, who seemed to be aware, have intercepted the alien signal from SETI and built their own DNA sex dolls, evidently. I guess that's the way to look at this, as he's got a gal on hand too. And as they go through this journey, you find that the movie looks a little better than the last one. HD video quality increases phenomenally from year to year. In 10 years, we could possibly be in a circumstance where it's better than film. I don't think we're actually there yet. I'm just saying, if we keep the growth going, you might be able to convince me there's something here. This doesn't look as good as the first movie. The second movie doesn't look as good as the first movie, but at least it looks better than the third film. And you know what? A lot of our CGI, 12 years after the original, we now have CGI that is way cheaper and at least as good as the 95 film. Unfortunately, we took a damn dip when it came to costumes, prosthetics, and creature design. Was there some kind of lawsuit that forced them to change the creature? I don't know. Because it's like, now we can't get the blue eyes that we used to have. Now we clearly have a human in a costume with their eyes, give them some contact lenses, give them a little bit of After Effects touch up. We do that instead of actually building the creature the way it used to look. We also have a lot of sequences where the now revived, was her name Matilda? Helena Matson, I'm calling her, okay? She's now sex driven, she wants to bang, she gets the boobs out, she's really hot. But I'll say this, there's something about her skull that turns me off. This girl has the head of a 6-year-old girl with adult features everywhere, and it kind of weirds me out. Anyhow, she's banging people in Mexico, or trying to. There's a lot of hybrids, alien DNA people about in those areas. I mean, that's why they have such a high murder rate, huh? But she walks around with Mystique-esque applications on, instead of being the full alien. And it was never like that in the other 3 films. It was full alien or full human. You didn't have in-between modes. So she's going around, kills the kind of Australian sounding doctor guy that kind of fixed her up, tried to extend her life. I mean, they had to sacrifice a girl, merge the pods together. The pods look way better than they have any right to, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, for a straight-to-video sequel in 2007. So I applaud that. But then we have alien fights. The gal that was the assistant in the lab, she has to go alien fight her so we can have catfight alien, only the rules changed. They have projectiles now. It's not so much about nipple tentacles, which they had in the previous movies. Kind of makes you just wonder, have we just come to some kind of conclusion? The professor, who was kind of the innocent central guy behind all this, gets away. Helena Madsen gets killed, stabbed to death, dies in that position I'm telling you about. And he just blows up the building they're in, and the fire actually looks pretty decent. And that's the end of the franchise. Now for a little moratorium on Species altogether, just reiterating some points. No one talks about this franchise. I would think because it's loosely known, you could bring it back. And it wouldn't offend anybody because it's not like it's a cult classic to begin with. The lesser sequels don't really affect the original because you weren't really enthused by the storyline to begin with. You don't say Ghostbusters 2016 hurts the 1984 film if you didn't like the original. Things that didn't go well are probably a better target for a reboot than things that went well. I would rather see Species done again, but maybe from another perspective. We learn and we develop with Sil. We don't try to turn it into a softcore porn franchise. The deeper way to go about this would be something like The Fly 2 or The Shape of Water. Tell me The Shape of Water isn't essentially a whole lot of Species DNA. Anyhow, give this fourth Species film, Species The Awakening, 1.5 out of 4 stars.
If you appreciate a YouTube channel that doesn't just pad out content to get to the 8-minute mark so that it can hammer you with ad breaks, then you should subscribe to my son's channel. You just got done watching it.